The knock came at 2:17 a.m. Not loud, not desperate. Measured. Familiar. I was already awake. The house had learned my insomnia over the past 5 days. The walls creaked. Differently when sleep refused to come. I didn't move right away. I watched the security monitor instead. Her silhouette swayed on the porch, framed by the porch light like a bad confession. Hair damp, lipstick gone, phone clutched in her hand as if it had betrayed her first. 5 days missing. No calls, no messages, no explanation. She knocked again. Harder this time. I opened the door just enough to let the night in. She smiled. Not relief. Not remorse. A smirk. "Be grateful I even came home," she said, like she was doing me a favor. That was the moment something in me finally went quiet. I stepped aside and let her walk past me, straight, into a house that was no longer hers. She dropped her bag by the stairs, already reclaiming space she no longer owned. I went to the kitchen instead. Picked up the yellow envelope from the counter. When I handed it to her, she laughed, until she opened it. Her face went white before she finished the first page. 5 days earlier, the call had come from her sister. Not panicked. Controlled. Too controlled. "She needs space," she said. "Don't overreact." Space. That word landed wrong. My wife didn't disappear. She curated exits, planned narratives, left breadcrumbs when she wanted to be followed. This time there was nothing. No trail, just absence. I checked her location history. Disabled. Her credit cards? Active, hotels, restaurants, one charge in a city she swore she hated. I told myself not to assume. Told myself I was paranoid. That marriage required faith. But faith is a luxury for people who aren't being lied to. On the third night, I noticed something small. Her tablet synced back up to the home network for exactly 11 minutes. Long enough to upload photos. Long enough to forget one thing. I didn't look at the pictures. I looked at the metadata. Same hotel, same room, same timestamp, different man. I didn't confront her. That would have been inefficient. I requested phone records, archived messages, a quiet consult with a lawyer I trusted enough not to ask unnecessary questions. I learned how easy it is to disappear from a marriage without ever leaving evidence. If the other person isn't paying attention, I paid attention. I watched how she texted her sister. The code words, the timing, the way her sister slipped and used his name once, then corrected herself too quickly. I ran the name. Old flame. Recently divorced. Conveniently, helping her through a hard time. I rehearsed conversations I would never have. Imagined shouting. Accusations. Tears. Then I deleted them all. Anger is loud. Precision is silent. By the time she knocked on the door, I already knew how this would end. She stood in the living room flipping through the pages now, hands trembling despite her effort to stay composed. Divorce filing, property separation, financial freeze orders, a time-stamped affidavit. Her voice cracked. "What is this?" "Your exit paperwork," I said. She laughed weakly. "You can't be serious." I watched her carefully then. The way her eyes darted to the stairs, to the bedroom, to the walls, as if the house itself might defend her. "I didn't do anything wrong," she said too fast. I pulled one photo from the envelope and slid it across the table. Not explicit, just a reflection in a mirror, his watch on her wrist, her hand on his chest. She collapsed into the chair. Silence stretched. I stayed standing. "You followed me?" she whispered. I shook my head. "You exposed yourself." That was when she cried. Loud, ugly, apologetic in all the wrong places. She reached for me like muscle memory could save her. I stepped back. "You disappeared," I said calmly. "You forfeited the benefit of explanation." She tried bargaining next. Promises, therapy, blame shifting, her friends, her loneliness, my distance. I let her talk. I always did. When she finished, I handed her the last document, a notarized statement revoking her residency. "You don't live here anymore," I said. Her mouth opened, closed. "But this is my home." "No," I replied. "It was a privilege." "You confused it for immunity," she screamed then. Through the envelope, accused me of cruelty, control, emotional abuse. I waited. When she ran out of words, I opened the door and placed her bag on the porch. "Your sister's on standby," I said. I arranged it. She stared at me like she was seeing a stranger. She wasn't. She was seeing who I became when I stopped protecting her from consequences. After she left, the house didn't feel empty. It felt accurate. I sat alone in the quiet and thought about the man. I had been before the one who believed love required endurance, forgiveness, silence. That man would have begged. I filed the papers the next morning. No announcement. No explanations. Just a clean severing. Some people mistake calm for weakness. They forget it's often the final stage of clarity. I locked the door behind me that night, turned off the lights, and slept without dreams for the first time in 5 days. She had vanished to teach me a lesson. I learned it perfectly, and I never looked back.